Welcome back to Authentically Albertan.
Authentic.
I'm joined today with the definitive. How are you guys? Introduce yourselves.
Dylan.
Oh,
From right to left. Or
I play guitar.
I'm Duke and I'm the singer.
I'm Evan Burns and I slap the bass.
Vaughn, I play drums.
I'm Nicolas. I'm the host.
Yeah, Nick! Woo!
All right, guys. I got a question for you.
Yes.
If you weren't musicians, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be the person who builds the Lego sets.
Yeah? Who designs them?
Yeah, from Denmark. Like, I'll move to Denmark.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like the Lego ideas person.
I love Lego.
There's been so many of those. There's been like the Shrek Lego that there's ideas.
Shrego.
You said Shrek and Duke's interested now.
Yeah. The Ghostbusters one, all those started off as an ideas.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you think that Lego passion still translates to music? Do you ever see yourself as a Lego minifigure in the future?
I mean,
For
building
the definitive
drums
Lego
is
set?
kind of like Lego.
Yeah.
Like the way all the hardware, Yamaha hardware especially, it's like big Lego set.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. When I was younger, I wanted to be a musician, or I wanted to make movies. I wanted to be a filmmaker, whether that's a screenwriter or a director or anything to do with film. I'm a big entertainment guy, so music and movies, those are two big ones. I was never good at painting or any visual artwork, so I stuck with anything that's like movies or music. So that's what I would have liked to do, probably, yeah, movies or music, and here I am doing music. So
And you guys have made some music videos in the past.
we've made some music videos, yeah.
So was that kind of like living your childhood dream of becoming a filmmaker, working on those music videos?
It's kind of funny you say that because there was a couple times during the music video where I was like kind of trying to be like the co-director, kind of like, well, what if we did this and this, and sure enough, like the guy was kind of like, no, probably not, and I was like, yeah, totally. Yeah, that wouldn't work. And then I couldn't do it.
Did any of your ideas make it into the music video?
I think maybe a couple. I can't remember now. It's a while back, but
Was it your idea at the end of the video to like stay down or?
I think it was. Yeah. A couple little moments and stuff. So I pride myself on those little things like that. So yeah.
Okay, we'll call the director of the music video for confirmation after the interview.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great.
It's like Avery, right?
Watch
Yeah.
out, Avery.
Watch out, Avery.
Yeah.
Shout out to Avery.
There you go.
Okay, do you agree?
Yeah, for me, it's...
Did you want to be Super Duke?
Yeah, I like comic books. But I'm sorry. Yeah, for me, I wanted to be a fireman. Like it was weird. Like I wanted to, because I grew up in like Guam. When it's like small island. I visited the fire station. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I want to drive a big truck and put out the fire. But now, we're it's such a different career that I didn't end up.
We still drive trucks.
Yeah, like
so.
so I still drive, during tour, like driving, and then dealing with drive and these guys.
There's no reason why you can't play music while the firemen put out a fire. Give them some motivation.
Singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's something that I wanted to do, but I'm very thankful that I get to do what I love and what I'm passionate about, which is music with these boys. So, Dylan, I'll take it to you now. Yeah, pass it on.
Nice. That's a tough one because I don't really think about
Your childhood?
Oh, my childhood. Yeah,
Dylan just woke up at 17.
Whoa! He gained consciousness.
Yeah. No, I've always really enjoyed music and saw myself doing something in music, but if there was an alternative, it would probably be aviation, being a pilot.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I've got family members who fly, and so yeah, it's been something I've been around since I was a kid.
And you took lessons too, right?
Yeah, I am a pilot. Yeah.
Whoa!
You can fly us to our shows.
I have a private license.
Isn't that kind of how you met Evan? Is through your...
So my flight instructor at the time, Christian, who's friends with Evan's buddy Dakota, reached out to me because Dakota was looking for a guitar player for a band that he was in with Evan, and so Christian reached out and was like, hey, like, I think this guy's a good fit. And so then Dakota reached out to me. That's how I got in touch with them. But yeah, so yeah, I ended up finishing my private license. And,
Nice.
yeah, if I wasn't in music, which I hope never is the case, I would be flying planes for a living, but I hope I get to do music for a living.
You got a plan B though. So.
Yeah, there you go. You can combine two awesome things, playing guitar, piloting airplanes. They should give you like a badge for
It's
that.
very common in the music industry.
Really, for guitar players
Tons
to
of musicians in general,
pilot.
pilots.
There's train men
Yeah.
and there's plane men.
Isn't it?
Exactly.
You're a plane
Yeah.
man for sure.
Like Bruce Dickinson from
Yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
He was an airline pilot, so he would actually fly Air Force One once in a while. And even Alex Lifeson from Rush, he's a pilot. George Kenyon's a pilot. So a lot of musicians are pilots, and a lot of pilots play music. So
I think Leonard Skinner could have used one of those guys.
yeah.
Oh, knee slapper!
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, let's give it up for Nick.
I'm here all Thursday. Try the veal.
Alright.
So we got the origin story of how you two met. What about the rest of you?
Oh, it's funny, right? Isn't it,
Saw
Vaughn?
you.
Like,
It's hilarious.
it's hilarious. Because Dylan and Evan met together, and then me and Vaughn crossed paths, and we met, and we didn't even. Well, you knew Dylan, but I didn't know Dylan and Evan before. Until I met you. So from my side, it was a country gig I was doing because I'm a solo artist. I still do gigs here and there, but I'm committed to the band. So at that moment of time, I was on my own, did a variety gig show at Ranchman's. I didn't play country. I was a pop artist or like indie.
That was
so different.
Yeah, I'm
right?
Mike, dude.
Yeah, here, Vaughn.
That was the
tell.
funniest thing ever because
Right?
I was playing. It was like a battle of the bands at Ranchman's. Ranchman's is the most country venue ever,
Yeah.
and everyone was playing country. And then there's this Duke.
Yeah.
I'm like,
like this.
how did he get in here?
I know, I applied.
Just
and-
pulled up.
And then-
yeah.
And then you were handing out business cards
Yeah.
to like literally everyone.
I remember
So I
that.
still have your business card.
Wow.
And
Did you
then-
frame it? It's like, that's when we met.
No, it was just kind of in like a box of stuff.
Oh.
Ouch! But yeah, I went up to Duke. I'm like, hey bro, I see you don't have a band. I'll play drums with you. And then we went to the parking lot of Ranchman's and hashed it out. And then right before we're supposed to go on, you're like, actually I'm good, bro. I'll just do it on my own.
Because I didn't know. I was going, is he trying to sabotage the competition or? Like,
Whoa.
no word, obviously.
That hurt.
Yeah, but of course I was just bugging. But
You
it
just
was-
have a
I
very,
didn't know.
very evil appearance to you, I guess. Very treacherous,
It was the-
mischievous.
It was the dreads. He was like, square up, let's go. I got to play drums. He's like, yeah, like muscles, like, I was like scared, man. Anyways,
Yeah, and then I met Dylan kind of like at the same time, but different like venue. I just happened to pop in Mikey's on 12th one day,
Mhm.
which is no longer there. And I didn't even
That's a good
see
shout.
Dylan play. I just saw him putting his guitar away, his blue SG. I'm like, this guy looks dope. And then we chatted, and then yeah, that's how it started.
That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, don't worry. I have my own mic.
Oh,
remember?
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Well,
hidden.
here I can add on a little bit. And then through them, they started playing with a little group, and then I think you guys had a show under your
Yeah.
belt. And then
the Duke
since
Domino.
Dylan and I had worked together, they were kind of looking for a bassist at one point, and then Dylan came to me and he said, hey, I've got this group that I'm working with, The Definitive. We just are getting going. We need a bassist. If you'd like to come try out, we would love to see what you can do. We think you'd be a great fit. And then I drove out one day from my place up by the airport, like an hour drive probably. And pulled up. And these guys, funny enough, they looked like kind of all nervous, and I'm naturally just outgoing and a bit of a goofball. So I was just like, what up, dudes? And from there, I kind of played them some bass slap licks. And I think, I'm not going to put words in your guys' mouth, but I think from there, we kind of just knew that we had something that was going to work with all four of us. And here we are 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Ish.
Wow.
2.5 years. And
Nice.
Crazy.
going strong. going strong.
Well, we wrote like 3 songs that first time we were there. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
Wrote a
wow.
bunch of songs.
Straight to work. We're writing.
Straight to work. We're like, hey, original.
First
stuff.
time,
Yeah,
first time
yeah.
where all of you get together and just start writing off the bat.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Nice.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because we had played before Evan joined. We had played a gig where it was like 3 45-minute cover sets.
Okay.
We're like, okay.
No, it was 4.
Holy.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
4, and we only learned 3. And
Yeah,
so
we
got
just
done
did
the
set
third,
one
and we were like,
again.
oh, we still got another hour left, boys.
Yeah.
So-
Can I add to that? That set was such a challenge because remember you guys were. This was before you joined.
Before I was
Before you were birthed.
Before
But,
Evan.
that gig was crazy because we were saying, oh, how about you do a solo act, and then I did one. Such a weird setup, but it was that one song that really sparked that ignited that flame. And then when you added your slap bass
Use Me.
technique to Use Me by Bill Withers, that's when we knew that there was something there for sure. Oh, it was amazing, magical,
Epic.
Filled up that vacuum. Yeah.
Exactly.
What would you say are you guys' like inspirations when it comes to music, when it comes to writing music? What do you guys listen to the most, really? Get the juice flowing.
I've been yapping lots, so somebody else talk for a bit.
You go ahead.
Alright. Sounds good. So I mean, I won't speak for all of us as a group. I think we all have different inspirations and kind of things that we look for, which I mean, that's kind of a good thing when it comes to a group and a band is you unite and you kind of develop ideas together and, you know, an idea that maybe 2 of us like, the other 2 might not like. And at the end of the day, it's like all of us bringing different ideas together and trying to figure out the way that we could, you know, unite and figure out what works for all of us. And that's kind of what it's all about, being in a collective group, is just bringing one thing to the table. Blah,
The
blah.
collective.
Yeah.
The collective,
The
the definitive collective.
Yeah.
There's a story.
Yeah, there
No,
is.
don't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
But,
rat.
yeah,
You can't do
but
that.
yeah, no. For me, I'm. Like,
I'll hear this story after the interview.
Yeah. Secrets.
Off the record.
Off the record.
We're off the record now.
But I'm very influenced by like metal and like groovy metal and like a lot of like proggy stuff. So I like odd time signatures and technical compositional arrangements and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff for me, I like a lot of like originality. I think that's a word. Is that a word?
Originality, yeah, that's a word.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Let's go, Evan!
Mr. Oxford.
Yeah.
They call him Oxford.
You got like what did you get for
Oxford.
Evan again? Like you said you got like A+, remember?
Yeah, I did. I got like a 90.
For his final paper in high school,
did.
his last sentence was, and then it was all a dream.
It was all A+.
It was all originality.
But yeah, so for me, I like to bring like complex, kind of more trickier stuff to the table. Like, I don't know, it's such a weird genre that I'm into, where it's like a lot of people that don't have a huge knowledge of music theory and stuff, they might not find it very engaging, or like, you know, something that might be hard to groove your head to and stuff.
Okay.
So for me, I like to kind of bring more tricky and very like original kind of ideas, because you know, anyone can do like a regular like 4/4 drum beat or regular like finger, you know, bass line.
Anyone
where
can play the
it's like,
Seinfeld theme song.
yeah,
bass, right?
yeah, exactly. So it's like for me, I just like to bring original stuff that you've never heard before, you know, and that's easier said than done. Sometimes you think you're onto something when ultimately you're like, oh, this song sounds exactly like this other song, and then we're all like, oh, bro, you shouldn't have said that, sort of thing. But it's like, you know, at least we're kind of coming to that conclusion after we've already, you know, worked on it as ourselves. So it's like still original, but we might have came to the final product that might sound
Independently.
like something. Yeah, exactly.
You came to it
We
independently.
weren't copying anyone or anything like that, but then at the end we're like, oh, it sounds like we copied this.
I mean, there's
or-
only so many chords that you can
That's
combine
exactly right.
together.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
some
exactly
combinations are bound to repeat themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But together, I think we all work very well. Like Vaughn's a fantastic drummer, very what's the word? I was gonna say malleable, but very
He's very malleable.
Like, he can just-
He can be malleable.
He can adjust his strings to
Ostentatious.
anything. Like you could play jazz, you could play metal if you wanted. You can. You're very flexible, I should say, as a drummer. Yeah. And then as a bassist,
stretches.
yeah.
For every gig.
Yeah. Then as a bassist, that helps for me because him and I can run through ideas, and Vaughn will give me good ideas that I'm like, yeah, totally. And then Duke obviously is a fantastic frontman, and his dancing skills are out of this world. It like cracks me up sometimes when I'm watching because I'm like, this guy is just next level. And his vocals are obviously god tier, and there's nothing quite like it these days. Where it's like I would never listen to Duke and be like, oh, that sounds like this. Like it's very much its own thing. So I think all of us together, we kind of just bring all of our things to the table and lay it down. Some stuff works, but I think it's safe to say a lot more of it works than doesn't work, in my opinion. Like we really work through things together, and we're here now and just had a song release, Break It Down, and I think we're all very proud of that song.
Yeah.
Where can we find it?
It is on Spotify, anywhere you listen to music, basically. So it's on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp. What else is there? I don't know. I can't.
Amazon.
Amazon.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud. Yeah. I'll
other
pass it on.
radios.
Buy it on iTunes.
Yeah. If you guys want to add to the band, how we work together.
Well, yeah, influences.
Influences, yeah.
Right. I think I missed the whole point. I just went on my own.
Everyone on a
No, it was a good point on how you guys work together, what each one of you brings to the table, what you guys contribute.
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. No, I don't take that.
That was a good explanation.
Yeah. You said it. I'm good. Very good. Nothing.
Yeah. Influences though? You can start down there.
Well, Dylan, you go and then I'll go after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big rock and roll guy. Grew up on rock and roll.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Obviously. Playing in a rock and roll band, I hope I've got some rock and roll influences. To name a few, Alex Lifeson of Rush, the big one. I grew up on them, and Joe Perry of Aerosmith, Slash from Guns N' Roses. Most recent is Greta Van Fleet in 2017 when they started to really snowball. I hopped on that train and learned all of their music and
Pretty early on, because a lot of guys have latched on afterwards, like in the 2020s. A lot of my friends who listened to Greta Van Fleet have latched on to in the 2020s, but not 2017.
I was very stoked to be there that early on because I was able to capitalize on an audience to be able to teach to them on YouTube. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was pretty stoked that I found them and became pretty invested in their style and their music, and because of that, I ended up picking up a lot of influence from their guitar player Jake.
Jakey.
So exactly. so I got a lot of that in there. A little bit of Zeppelin, but not as much as some of my other influences. And Brian May is making an appearance in some of our newer stuff now. I'm pulling some influence from him.
Nice.
Betancourt of Extreme. So lots of different mixes in there, and I like to diversify. I play a little bit of jazz, a little bit of everything in there. So I just like to keep it fresh. And
You're messed with the acoustic guitar. Ever done some flamenco, some Spanish guitar with it?
I actually did study that a little bit. Classic Spanish, like a little bit of both. Which is interesting because there was a piece that I had looked at when I was using a Spanish guitar that it was directly used for an Aussie tune that Randy Rhoads had recorded. Like
wow.
The intro of an Aussie song was, Randy Rhoads was infamously a classical guitar player first. And I was learning this tune and I was like, this sounds exactly like this song. And sure enough, it was pretty much exactly the same thing that he had pulled influence from.
Did other people know he ripped it, or you kind of figured it out?
I figured it out because
Did you
Did you tell the media?
Other people out there, but it's not a famous classical song. Like it's a classical guitar song, but it's not like a Beethoven's Ninth or anything like that. Like it's a classical guitar tune. And so I was
just some folk song that has existed for hundreds of years now.
Rip it for sure?
I can't say that.
Off the record,
there's a lot of influence there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But just studying all sorts of different things, trying to keep it fresh and blend those influences rather than just pulling from one. And I think that's something that we've really done well with this new project that we're working on. So, yeah. Influences.
Yeah, we're so excited for the new music. So I can definitely see what you mean with the Brian May influence. I'm so excited for that one. But yeah, for me, Beethoven, Mozart.
Those were great singers.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
especially when he was deaf.
Like Shakespeare. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's not a singer. Yeah. So in all seriousness, sorry. Yeah.
What are you apologizing to me for? I'm not Beethoven. I'm not Mozart.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. For me, it's Oh, who said Elvis?
Me.
You said Elvis. I got scared. Who said Elvis? From
It's the ghost of Elvis.
I know,
He's come back.
He wants peanut
Elvis?
butter and
With
banana
Beethoven.
bacon.
They're gonna take your
For me,
lunch.
it's like Elvis. Like I grew up with surprisingly, the Bee Gees, and that's what my dad would listen to. The Beatles, very cliche, but
Mhm.
very true. They were the pioneers of that early rock sound, and then that group of bass player, drummer, everybody. In terms of how I present myself on stage and what I study to improve, the performances and the care I have for everybody, definitely. Paul Stanley from Kiss. I had the fortunate chance to see him live when he was here in Calgary.
Awesome.
And I was with Dylan as well. So it's funny, I was talking to Dylan, and Dylan was like, "Yeah, I already know what he does." And to me, I was like amazed. I was blown away about how Paul Stanley was. And so I was like, "Dylan, this guy's amazing." And then Dylan just goes,
Dylan's checking his
yeah,
watch.
Dylan just goes, yeah, he's good. Yeah, I know, I'm freaking out. And
Checking
because
the
he
weather
knows,
app.
Yeah, he's checking the weather app. Like, yeah, I know. Like, I know. And then definitely, I gotta hand it to Freddie Mercury, Queen. The way that he navigates and commands the stage is crazy. Just that performance from, I think it was Live Aid, where he was just really like, hey, like sing this part, and then they'd sing it back, like, oh, right, all that stuff.
Wasn't that from like the South African concert, I think? Yeah.
Oops.
Wow.
And yeah, ended at, obviously Michael Jackson, got the greats, Bruno Mars. Most recently, Lenny Kravitz, because Are You Gonna Go My Way? We do that cover, and it's so fun to play that song. Everybody's like, I know that song, and then they go crazy. And his new record, the song Human, it's so good, because it's just like, it really shows that it's inspiring, because he takes good care of himself, and he can go from how he was before to now, which I think he's like 60.
He's ripped.
He's ripped, and he's
Is he
crazy.
60?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's what I want to aspire to be. Is the
Do you think you can take him?
No. I respect that man too much.
Like you did Vaughn in the Ranchman's parking lot.
Hey, like the dreadlocks. Oh shit. But yeah, that's my like hashtag. We're good now. Yeah, we're good now. So yeah, that's my influences. Evan.
I kind of already said mine. Just big
Yeah.
metalhead.
Yeah.
I love Tool. Tool's my favorite band. That's probably about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's more.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I liked them when I was little. Flea was a big inspiration to get me into bass and stuff. And a couple other bands like Tesseract and Meshuggah, especially like Meshuggah's like intense, complicated polyrhythms and rhythms and stuff like that. It probably sounds like mumbo jumbo, but yeah, just.
Well, what does it mean? What does it mean? You can elaborate.
Like, well, explaining polyrhythms is tricky, but it's like a 3/4 pattern, which I mean Vaughn would know how to do. Can you do it on the table, Vaughn?
3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goddamn better.
3 against 4.
This is an educational program.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then that one's 4.
1, 2, 3.
So it basically is like patterns that are like two different patterns that ultimately take a few bars to line up with each other again. So it's like complex, and yeah, I wish I knew how to explain it better, but It's just very technical and very rhythmic heavy.
Rhythm.
Rhythm. It's so rhythm. But yeah, I like very technical and stuff that you don't hear anyone else doing. I like original stuff and stuff, even if it doesn't sound good to me at first, I'm like, whoa, but I've never heard anything like that before. So I'm a big fan of like movie scores like Hans Zimmer, Interstellar.
John Williams, are you a fan of John Williams?
Yes, yeah, Harry Potter is unreal. Star Wars, of course, is unreal.
Superman, Super Duke.
Super Duke. So yeah, I'm a big fan of orchestral scores like that too, especially Hans Zimmer. Like his Dune soundtrack is unreal, and of course Interstellar. You can't really beat that. So
Inception.
Yeah, Inception's unreal soundtrack as well. So
Dark
Knight. Yeah. How can I forget that? Thank God you said that.
You're just listening his whole discography. You love this man.
Yeah,
Pirates as well.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
He did.
All the bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy. So yeah, that's kind of my influences. So
Yeah.
There you go.
I love Super Duke. I guess in this band, like my bread and butter, kind of from the get-go, was like the Chad Smith, John Bonham, big drums, wide open drums, big cymbals sort of sound, hitting hard. And yeah, that's always kind of been my bread and butter. Like if I were to pinpoint like one drummer, it's got to be Chad Smith for sure. I just grew up listening to Chili's like all the time.
Yeah.
And I like Pearl Jam and all that 90s kind of alternative, Pumpkins, you know, Third Eye Blind. Yeah, Alice in Chains. I grew up on a lot of that stuff, and I felt like it came kind of naturally. So when we're writing, that's always like my go-to bread and butter. And yeah, I guess more recent inspirations. I love Aaron Sterling, and just kind of his approach more than his playing. Although he's a great player, like there's no wrong answers sort of thing. And yeah, I like that's influences on the drums, but I love listening to all kinds of music and a lot of soft stuff that really has nothing to do with this band, honestly. Sometimes just like a nice change of pace. And Evan knows I'm into EDM now.
Yeah.
Like nothing to do with playing the drums, really. It's just different.
I like my EDM too.
So throwing it back to your first performance, you know, with the four of you, not just that third one that you guys told me about. How was it? How was that night like? The four of you playing together for the first time in front of a crowd.
That's a great question.
It was kind of like a strange gig.
What was strange about it?
We got the gig like before we were a band. I think that's why there was such a fire under our ass to write a bunch of music. Because it was
No swear.
Potty mouth.
Another. You gotta put a bail in the swear jar.
a fire under our bum.
Was that the brick one?
Yeah.
That was
okay,
brick
brick wall, right.
Well,
So,
it
like-
was that, and just like there was a doubt at our ability to perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we felt we had something to prove, and we went out there. I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, but we were kind of like,
Yeah.
at least I was worried about like we have to fill an hour, and we've been a band for like a month.
I think that's also why we wrote so many songs in
Yeah.
our first few sessions.
But there was,
We're not doing covers again.
yeah, we
So-
made it. We made like a point. I think we only played one cover, which was like
Used
"Used Me,"
Yeah.
which was like our song basically at that point. Or not, like, of course it's Bill Withers, but like we made a point of being like, look what we can do to this
Yeah.
song. It wasn't just a straight ahead
You
cover.
kind of made it your own.
Yeah.
Put your own style on it.
I remember that show just kind of like flying by, and then I played super fast, way too fast.
Did you?
Yeah, it's just
I didn't
full
even
of like
notice.
adrenaline and.
We probably all were.
We all
We were all.
Yeah, I think we all.
Finish it in like 30 minutes. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I felt like my blood was like rushing on my fingertips because I was being a
That's
frontman. That's the first time that it was a fully
Full
was it
house.
sold out. It was full house.
Yeah,
It
it was
yeah.
pretty
It was a
I think
full
the owner
house.
told us that was the biggest show they've ever had.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sick.
Yeah.
We
First
ball-
appearance of the definitive. You gotta be
Yeah.
there.
We
Yeah.
we
That was
balled out
pretty
on
cool.
ticket sales. Like we just wanted
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
did.
people to be there. We invited all our friends and family.
There were probably
Mhm.
100 people in there. Hey?
Yeah.
At least 100.
No.
And
Please, yeah.
everyone kind of dipped after we played, which sucked for the other bands. But
Yeah.
It was crazy because I remember that night, and we're just like nervous, like what's gonna happen, and we were excited, adrenaline heavy, and then there's that one song, the Stella, when we played that one.
Stella.
Yes, you know that stuff, and then everybody had their flashlights out, and I remember seeing that for the first time. It was so there's like a euphoria in the air. It's kind of like, wow, I'm in this atmosphere of, wow, this is
This is
surreal.
big.
I don't know if you guys felt that when
Oh, yeah.
you guys saw the
100%,
lights,
yeah.
but I felt I was
I can
I got
never see the
goosebumps.
lights because I'm like so short behind the drum.
yeah,
No.
but
What's going on?
and the fun fact for you guys is that picture, because we had the outfits of the black and gold. It's funny, Big Winter Classic. You know, thanks to those guys, that's the first festival that we did, I think. So it's not happening anymore. They canceled, but it's okay. But they um, picked that photo on the newspaper. I still have it in my room, and I put it on the frame and everything because we had this outfit, this look that we're going for, and I think that's like a big thing that we're doing now as well. That's why if you check out our Spotify now, that's what we're doing.
Theme.
The theme,
A brand.
the brand, the color.
Yeah.
So that way, we can show more of ourselves and our identity and what we're going for. So yeah, it's so surreal.
So what's the era that defines you right now? What would you say it? Yeah.
The brand.
Yeah.
It's the Horizon's Edge era.
Yeah, it's so the EP that's coming out is called Horizon's Edge.
Mhm.
It's a definitive summer.
Yeah. I guess you can put it. I guess you can put it
Someone
that
told
way.
me that. So
Really?
literally
Fair
on my
enough.
DMs, it's a definitive summer, and I go, sure.
Nice. They said it just like that.
Yeah, and it was like
Voice message.
Yeah.
It's a definitive summer.
Yeah. Yeah. So the branding in terms of the visual aspect goes off of what our album cover is portraying, which is the Horizon's Edge. And that was something that we really struggled with for a long time, was the album artwork and the single artwork for this. And it kind of fell into place last minute when we were on the ferry from Vancouver to Nanaimo. It was like
Ooh, that's a nice
9:30
ferry.
p.m. ferry, and it was sunset. And so we got all sorts of pictures. Vaughn can attest to it. He saw me with the camera.
Oh, I got experience.
The
I got
whole
experience
vibe.
seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah, and then when I was handing the camera over, I saw something else that caught my eye. I'm like, never mind, give it back. Went back, started shooting. So we ended up getting good shots, and Vaughn got some good shots too. And I think one of your shots was the cover for Break It Down, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that ended up being it. We're like, okay, well, let's take a look at these. Could be it. And sure enough, they ended up being that.
Yeah.
So with that, it's got a lot of blues and oranges and stuff because it was sunset, a little bit of pink in there. And so our
Right.
photo shoot that we had booked just recently, we wanted a lot of those same colors to keep it consistent with the visual aspect of the album. And then from the rest of the brand perspective, I think every song on this album talks about struggles that most people experience on a daily basis, and just talking about those, like being able to disconnect from the digital world. And what were some of the other topics that we had? Just
There's a couple
moving
about
on from relationships, past relationships.
yeah, like trying to enjoy the ride.
Enjoy
And
the
there's
ride,
a couple
yeah.
songs I feel
Yeah.
like that are about
Yeah.
like cell phone addiction. At
Yeah.
least one.
Yeah,
like,
there's definitely
really
some
is.
Doom
there.
scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the big underlying message is just like enjoying and living in the moment rather than like constantly chasing, because it's easy to get into the habit of like chasing that next goal that you're after, right? And even as a band, we fall into that sometimes, where it's like, okay, well, we just finished tour, what are we doing next? Like, this is the next big thing. And it's
Exactly.
like, boys, we just got off tour, let's reflect, let's enjoy some time off, right? And so this song talks about like the human urge to just keep pushing to that next thing, and then in doing so you kind of miss what's happening in the moment, and before you know it, you're aged, or you're aging, and you're feeling the effects of age, and you're not able to do some of the things that you wish you could because you just rushed past them.
And something that I've learned is also to dig through personal experience. So you always gotta reach down to the foundation, and that's really what connects your listeners to the artists. Yeah.
You know what's interesting though is if you've ever seen on social media people saying, "Oh, I've never had an original experience in my life," people often think that things they experience or they feel are original, but a lot of other people will find it. And that's where a lot of authenticity comes from, is just being true to like your niche and what you are feeling or experience, and you'll be surprised how many people will resonate with that.
Well, that's what we're all about here, and authentically Albertan.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
I think like from my input on some of the songs being written, like none of them are written from like a higher place. Like, hey guys, here's how to like enjoy your life more. Like none of them are really written like that. I think they're pretty honest and just like we all talked about our struggles as a band, and sometimes we didn't even need to talk about it. Just like on the road and we're burnt out and we're tired and like we can just feel it, and just like being honest about those experiences and kind of writing about it and not really having an answer, just like this is what we're feeling, put it into a song and see what happens.
Yeah.
I know it's like choosing between your children because you've composed them all, but you guys each one have a favorite song.
Yes.
I like how you said that too, because we do think about it as our children. So, yeah, Nicolas.
Yeah.
Give it up for
I
Nick!
love that. That's so good.
Yeah, I hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, you did.
Funny.
Funny.
I can just.
Okay, you got it.
Tell us all about it.
No, so he can't choose.
Favorite song?
Favorite
child?
song, yeah, favorite child.
Let's see here. I feel like it's always rotating, but right now it's an unreleased one. It's not one we're gonna release for a while. I think
It's not going to be 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah,
working
We can
title.
make sure of that.
Working title is Bend and Break. I don't know if it's gonna change, but that one, it's like kind of a bit more heavier than we've done before, and it's a bit of a challenge for me to play. But when I lock it in, it just feels good, and people have been responding to it really well. So
So what's the name? What's it called?
it's called Bend and Break,
Okay.
but it's like we're still working on it. I don't know if it's gonna change. But, yeah.
So you guys gotta put a parentheses if you change the name when you release it, so
yeah.
people know what you're referring to in this interview.
It might stay the same. Who knows?
Right. I have like so many. It's actually kind of tricky.
It's a little tricky.
Bend and Break is really good. From our songs that are already out, Legacy is probably my favorite. It's been my favorite since the beginning. All these guys know that. They were expecting that.
Every time we make set
Yeah.
lists, it's like legacy.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
Evan has one request.
Yeah.
Legacy.
I also love another one that's unreleased. Are we allowed to give out song names that aren't out yet?
Or is it on EP?
It's Jungle.
Oh yeah, well that's definitely gonna change, I think.
It'll
Yeah,
change.
okay. It's a song called Jungle, so it'll
Welcome
change.
to the
Welcome to the jungle.
But also, Break It Down, the song that just released, that's up there. It's probably my favorite song to play live. So lots of slap bass parts and Feeling, which is another song that's coming out soon. That is very close to taking the cake for my favorite song that we've ever made, probably. So
Yeah, Feeling is a good one.
Feeling is a banger song.
We've had a few people asking when that one's coming out, so I'm pretty
Very
stoked for
excited
that.
too.
Yeah. It's a good feeling when you've written a song and it's not out yet. People are like, dude, when are you gonna
It's a good
release that?"
feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling.
It just
Your turn, dude.
nice.
Yeah, that's hard. You guys gave some, great.
Yeah, I gave like 4.
Yeah, I get 4. So mine changes just like Vaughn, and like it changes through time. So it was Sugar, but I think you get sick of like singing the song. Of course, if you're singing it all the time. So it changed, and I would say definitely, like the new ones. Break It Down comes close, but I gotta give it to Not to Be Blue, because that song, after writing that song, I'm sure we all felt this, boys. We were really proactive at, dialing in this part and that part, and this is what needs to be done, and then the light bulb clicked, and go, oh yeah, that works, and then Evan says this, and Vaughn says that. And then the song, the structure, and I'm so excited when it releases. But you're gonna hear the thought, like just the thought process, and just how everything was well thought out, and it made this cool song that has so many parts.
that it's not just like a 4/4 or whatever, and it's like a pop song like Espresso or whatever. It's very well thought out, and I'm so excited for that one, especially the theme of heartbreak, which everybody relates to. So, Dylan, I'll pass it to you.
Pass it over.
Thank you. Yeah, it's probably going to be out by the time people see this, right?
Yeah, probably.
What's your turnaround, Nick?
About 3 months.
3 months.
Oh, we're good.
It's going to be out by
Yeah,
then.
we're
okay.
we're
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah, so go listen to Not to Be Blue and the EP while you're at it. It's
Maybe Bend and Break will be.
Maybe. My personal favorite is the title track of this upcoming EP, Horizons Edge.
Title tack.
Yeah. I'm so excited about it, I can't even say it. So,
Blue and orange, yeah.
yeah.
All
exactly.
for it.
Blue and orange, Horizons Edge, and
We
just
can-
the message behind the song, the vibes of the song. I really like that riff, and there's a very melodic solo in it, a little less shred and a little more of its own melody line. So I think even just down to like some of the things that are happening in the background with the backing vocals and keys, and we did some gang vocals for that song at the end too, which turned out really well. And yeah, so really stoked for that song, and that's my personal favorite. So
Some good to hear it, yeah.
It's interesting because like all 4 of the songs, they're kind of all written in like different ways.
Yeah.
Like we don't have like hard rules of like here's how we're gonna write a song. Like Break It Down happened in like 10 minutes and it was done, and we didn't change it at all.
when we were
Okay.
supposed to be rehearsing.
When we're supposed to be
Yeah.
rehearsing. And then like Not to Be Blue, it started as a jam that didn't really have structure or lyrics. It was just kind of like the chorus. It was just like a jam we did, and then turned into a song. You know, Feeling, I think, was the first or second song we wrote after Worlds Away.
I think it came after Break It Down.
No,
No, actually no. I've been sitting on that riff for a couple of years now.
I remember when
intro
you
riff.
pulled that out, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you've been sitting on this?
Yeah, I'd been sitting on that for a couple of years, the main riff.
Yeah. And it's like that one, it kind of took a while to like massage it into what it is, and it's
To make it more malleable.
malleable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, let's give it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, Feelings got kind of like a different structure, and we didn't want to write like another pop song, you know, another pop rock song.
Yeah.
And Horizons Edge was another one of those that we almost didn't write it, and then we kind of brought it back like, whoa, like this was a great idea.
Mhm.
So it all happens in different ways, which is cool.
Were any of the songs that you've mentioned did they start out with the lyrics? Has there ever been a case, or almost certainly
I
no?
don't think we've ever started a song with lyrics.
I feel like the one exception would be Horizons Edge, just like speeding again, like that phrase.
Yeah, well, we had the musical idea already though.
Was it did we have the chorus?
Oftentimes,
I think
whenever
so.
we jam, I remember. So break it down example. So I remember this. This was
Yeah.
we were okay. Let's practice. We gotta practice. And then you're playing riff, and then you're playing drums. I was like, wait. Let's keep going. I think I have something. And then
Was that
it's
Break It
those
Down?
moments. I think it
Yeah.
was break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke
It's
was
those
like,
moments.
stop. We're writing this right now. That's
There's
literally what it
moments
is.
when I hear and when I sing, I don't put words. I go like yeah, and then it becomes words. So it's the sound, the melody.
Yeah, it's harder to put a melody
Yeah.
to lyrics than it is to put lyrics to a melody, because usually with a melody you can fit words and syllables around that.
Yeah.
If you just have words and syllables, it's a lot harder to morph a melody into that.
Yeah.
Ah,
For
gotcha.
the songs that I helped write, like Duke and I really put our brains together on a couple of them, and for me it starts with like an idea but not lyrics. It's more just an idea of like, what is this about?
Theme, yeah.
Yeah, a theme. And
I
like
think all
there-
the songs kind of follow that this
Theme.
time around.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like, you know, like for me, like there's like a notes of just like a bunch of words that I feel like, you know, work together. And then as soon as Duke comes up with like a killer melody, as he
Yeah.
tends to do,
the feeling, right?
yeah, then it's like,
Remember? Yeah,
and then it's like,
that's
okay, now I have all these words and ideas, and let's kind of like
Yeah.
fit it onto this musical idea and hope it works.
Yeah, it's interesting because so feeling's gonna be out by this time, so I suppose just briefly. Yeah, when we were writing "Feeling," we were again rushing to have the lyrics because we had a gig at on 17th Ave at the gazebo.
Yeah.
So we needed to have the words, and I remember the lyrics was not good, to be honest, because I wrote the lyrics and it was rushed, and it was inspired by Kiss because I was listening to Shout It Out Loud, and at that time I saw Kiss, so I was like, yeah, Kiss, right?
I
Do you
hear
remember
now.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I wrote it, that was the idea. But then, because we, really broke everything down, break it down, no pun intended. We we like went ahead and go, okay, what is the theme? So it became feeling of as a feeling, feeling. So it was like I remember it was just the partying and the vices, like drugs, all that stuff. But then it didn't become that. It's a different theme now, and even the melody changed.
Yeah, the
It
melody's
was
entirely
not-
different from what it started
Yeah,
as.
it's because and then now it's there's more of a nice melody and
Yeah.
and it's not forced.
So relaxing.
It's more relaxed. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm doing here, I'm pushing up, and I wanted it to be more actual singing.
What prompted that change?
I think just band discussion. Like
Yeah.
if we feel like something's not working, we don't shy
Feeling.
away from
It was a
we don't shy away from talking about that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
even
yeah,
like Evan mentioned, Jungle is one of our unreleased tunes that he really digs, and that's one tune that we're really experimenting with right now because we don't feel like it's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so if there's ever things going on with our songs and stuff that we don't feel that it is really working, then we'll talk about it and we'll see if we can find another way to figure something out.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
At the same time, though, it's like we're not ever like afraid to like play something unless it's like perfect.
Mhm.
Like there's so many times and a couple new songs that are getting to that stage where it's like we can play these live, but they're not done, and we all know that. But like, let's just try it out.
I imagine they change based on live performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, those experimental ones. Okay, and then I wanted to also ask you guys regarding how do you see the community here in Calgary regarding rock and roll? How are the other bands?
It's growing.
Yeah?
Very steadily growing. Anybody else want to say something?
Yeah, I think it's coming back. Like COVID threw everyone a curveball, literally everyone on the planet a curveball. But now that people are kind of getting back out of their shell, like obviously it kind of ended a while back now, but like taking that much time to get comfy in your own house and playing video games and on Discord with your friends and this and that, like not a lot of people want to go out and even go to clubs anymore or this and that when you can stay in the comfort of your own home and stuff. But as I think we kind of drift away from that, a lot more people are stepping outside and coming to see shows, and a lot more new artists are kind of opening up and starting to kind of pursue a career in this. So it's like there's a lot that's going on here in Calgary and Edmonton and everywhere in Canada. Just the music scene in general is huge. Rock and roll is a big one though, and it's really, I don't want to say coming back because it's always kind of been there, but it seems that at least for us, what we notice is that we see it coming back with the amount of people that come to our shows and the amount of bands that reach out and pop up out of nowhere and stuff, and it's pretty unreal to see it, and we're very happy to be a part of that family and group of just a band trying to release music and work together and network and kind of just all pursuing your dream.
Neat, yeah. That's very well put.
Thank you.
You know, from an outsider's point of view, I think you guys have done a lot in the 2.5 years that you've been together. What does it mean to succeed to each one of you? What does success mean to you?
We'll start down there and we'll move down.
That is a hard one. I don't know. I think success for me is just being happy with what you do and what you release and enjoying your path. Like I feel like a lot of people think about like what is success, and that's like, oh, when I get to this point, when I have a big house. And it's such a cliche thing to say, but like I truly do believe it's like success to me is being happy with where you're at, no matter what's going on in your life. Even if you're not happy, like work through it, and you've gotten through every tough thing you've ever been through up till this point, so it's like continue being happy and pursuing your dreams, never give up. So I feel successful already as a group.
Wow.
Give it up for Evan.
Prime Minister.
Yeah. You gotta one up that, buddy.
Yeah, good luck, eh? I kind of agree with you, Evan. Like, I remember if you asked me like 2 years ago, success would have been like playing Grey Eagle Event Center, and we did it. And it's like, okay, what's next? But maybe just kind of working on pausing from that and just enjoying what you have. Yeah, success would be learning how to enjoy what you already have.
Yeah.
Enjoying the McDonald's runs.
Yeah. Well, like
Good time.
seriously, because like we won't
Funny
always do that, Like,
Eventually somebody, like, that's just the nature of the business. Eventually somebody's doing that for the band, right?
yeah.
And I've heard a lot of bands
Eventually,
talk
you
about
hire Ronald McDonald.
that. Yeah, exactly. Or Grimace.
McDonald's,
If you've got a
please.
tighter budget, you go for Grimace.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us.
So we can get as much chicken McNuggets.
If you have no budget, you get the Hamburglar too. Steal.
Then you don't
Yeah.
get your food.
All right, but yeah, I think that answer makes sense, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
Amazing.
Let's give it up for Vaughn.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, like all great points. I think for me, it's definitely collecting all this Minecraft toys that have gained me success.
That's what tours done.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
That's what driving has
I
done
know,
to his
right?
brain.
That's in my head, like,
We're on a
Minecraft,
mission, bro.
man. We're on a mission.
Side quest.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get ahead of yourself and think, oh, well, Great Eagle, and then Taste of Edmonton, Trooper, all of that. Even the fact, like the big, you're opening for these big bands. However, for me, it's like, yes, that does define success, and it's easy to get caught off guard with that. However, it's again like living in the present, and even in my personal life, you're always thinking, man, I'm trying to reach that horizon's edge, hint, hint. But it's always feeling that success that you woke up, you got out of bed, it's another day, and you're not giving up on yourself. You're keeping motivated, you're going to the gym, you're going to band practice, you're sometimes a couple minutes late, sometimes you're on time, it doesn't matter.
Oh
Not
no.
outing you, I'm just saying.
See, if you wouldn't have done anything,
Yeah, I know,
He
but
self-
no.
He self-reported.
Yeah, I'm not supported. But either way, whatever it is, it's the fact that you just gotta live in the moment, take it easy, and things will come your way. Even Taste of Edmonton, I didn't even know who Trooper was, because I didn't really grow up in Canada. I'm from Philippines, and then growing up, and then I was saying, oh, they sang that song, the Raise It Little Hell and all that, and I go, wow, that's a big deal, and it is a big deal, and it's such a blessing, and you're all very thankful for that. So that's success to me. Okay, here, Dylan, your turn.
All right, give it up for Duke. Super Duke. Yeah.
McDonald's, okay.
Super Duke!
Super
Gonna
Duke.
save us.
Yeah. With the
With the McDonald's.
Yeah. That's a tough question, right? Because obviously, in a realistic world, success is being able to support yourself and live comfortably, right? Everybody is, and I think for the most part, everybody's looking to not have to worry about their next paycheck or their next grocery trip, and so obviously, like, an end goal with doing what we love would be to be able to support ourselves full time with it. And so from like a success standpoint, that would be like an end goal for me, is to be able to do this full time and not have to worry about, oh, well, do we have another show coming up where we're going to get paid, or so like as a goal, I think that's still important to note that, like,
Yeah.
that's still on the table for all of us, is to be able to get to a point where we're doing that and it's sustainable full time. But in terms of like success as a broad spectrum, I think every day we're seeing success in the sense that like all the skills that we're acquiring right now through doing it the way we're doing it and not just looking to get somebody to do it for us, like a management company or an agent or a label, and like we're all we're learning these essential skills, like learning how to book a tour, learning how to, like Evan went to school to learn how to mix and master music, and like learning how to book a tour route and like hotels, rental cars, the inner workings of all of that, and like financials aspects. And you know, I see a lot of the technology side of things where it's building websites and putting together social media and coming together with a brand. And I think all of those little things that go into building a brand and a business, that is success as well, because if you're not fronting that as a group, you're not going to be able to be successful from period. Like if you don't have the skill set, nobody else is going to do that for you. So I think the fact that we're learning so much as a group and we're doing it all ourselves, it's success in its own right, because we've developed these skills in the 2 years that we've had together to write the music, get it recorded, get it out, and then promote it, book tours, go on tours, you know. So yeah, obviously, like I said, the big goal is to be able to sustain ourselves with it, but we see success every single day with this stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, give it up for Dylan. I've got one final question that I'd like to ask all the entrepreneurs, all the artists who come into the show, and that is, if you had one word describe yourself, which one would it be? But we're gonna do it a little bit differently. You guys are gonna be different. So it's gonna be, if you had one word to describe the band, which one would it be? Think about it right now, but don't say it. I'll count.
Is it
I'll
like
cut it in.
one answer or 4 answers?
Well, you guys will say it at the same time.
Okay.
We'll see if you guys match, if that band energy is there. So
Like,
just
are
think
we being
about
serious?
it. Go ahead.
Because I'm thinking of Super Duke.
Like describes us as a whole,
As the definitive.
as the definitive. Okay.
What one word that describes the definitive?
Yeah, I got mine.
I got mine.
Okay.
I got mine.
5.
Wait.
Are we saying it on
4.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay.
I said dank.
What did you say?
Me?
Yeah.
I said ambitious.
Ambitious. What did you say, dude?
I was like rock and roll.
Mine said the definitive.
I said definitive.
We probably should have all said that. I prioritize dank.
Well, you guys can work on that
personality.
band, you know, mind, brain, hive mind kind of thing, and yeah.
Long road ahead of us.
Long road for the next tour. You guys can work on that.
I thought for
Oh,
sure.
that's synchronicity.
Someone's gonna say grimace.
I was gonna say grimace, but then
It's like playing what's it called? Fibbage.
Okay, well, you've heard it here, folks. This has been the collective.
Oh, that's what it should
This has been the definitive. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for being here on the show. It was great having you. Great knowing about your stories, and I look forward to this new album, new EP coming up.
Right now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
Give it
much.
up for Nick. Good.
And thank you guys for watching. Stay authentic.
Let's go.